Clint Eastwood is a living legend, mainly known for his directing Dirty Harry and Westerns. But 1993's In the Line of Fire is a somewhat hidden gem in a cramped filmography. A unique Eastwood performance that's one of his best post-Unforgiven. And with the menacing John Malkovich, this makes for an edge-of-your-seat cat and mouse thriller that was a pretty fun rewatch. Does it suffer from some 1990s tropes? Absolutely. Do we care? Absolutely not. Joining me tonight, G-Man on the couch. How are you, mate?
Great. Thanks for having me. Good to be here. Unique performance, you say, Whitey?
Well, it is.
I'm going to go with he ran the grizzled old veteran again.
No, but
anyway.
he's got a soft edge. He's flirty. Do you remember, when's the last time you saw Clint Eastwood flirt?
Heartbreak Ridge.
Fuck off.
He got super drunk and his wife hated him, and then he read the love books.
Hang on,
he read the
Mills and Boons.
Digest, Mills and Boons or whatever.
Yeah.
He tried his best.
Yeah, but like he's flirty here. He's charming.
Flirty. Yeah.
Like it's very un-Eastwood. It's sort of like Dirty Harry with blue pills next to the bed. Dirty Harry with a heart on.
Dirty old Harry.
And joining us, that laugh everyone would know. Will the Workie's back?
Yes, I'm back. Matty, did you know what a wet boy was before this movie?
It was different to what I thought it was.
That obviously has multiple reasons. Yes, I'm back. Thanks for having me,
And
Matty.
you know what? You are our resident Clint Eastwood expert.
It turns out I am. I'm fast becoming the Clint Eastwood guy.
Yeah, and we're not going to get into it too early because we're going to ask, because the last time you were here, it was a one watch for Dirty Harry.
Yeah.
And we'll get to that in a minute.
Sure.
But, mate, it's great to have you back.
Thank you, mate.
Always love you filling in. And it's good you've brought the big book of notes.
I have. Yep.
And which makes us very excited.
Yeah. A4 spiral bound tonight.
I like it. Of course, we are Born to Watch, the movie podcast that doesn't take the movie or ourselves too seriously, except, of course, in the Snorbs report, which after last week's Hall of Fame Snorbs report, we're taking a week off. It's for everyone to recover, restock the tissues, take a breath.
Yeah.
No Snorbs report tonight.
There were a lot of snorbs covered last week.
Yeah, it was like 4D chess.
Well, it was Snorbs and Spadger last week.
Yeah.
Wasn't it? So
He laid up.
You went next level.
he did.
Which is surprising from a purist like himself.
Yeah, well, no.
Stepping outside of his own lane there. So anyway, look, I won't go off.
Damo's still finding himself, I think.
I'll hold my thoughts.
Overs and unders. 1993. What a year. I turned 18. Finished school. Gow, you were a year out.
Yep.
Will, you were a young, sprightly sprog.
I was, yeah. I was in Mr. Junon's class. It was a composite 345 at Niagara Park Public School, and I was the ripe old age of 9, year 3.
Did you say Mr. Jugong?
Mr. Junon.
Oh, right.
Yeah, very close to. Yeah.
God. Was he a big fella?
Nah,
Hairless?
anything
Was
but.
he a hairless big fella?
He was
that
hairless.
used to swim at lunch? He loved grass?
Actually, the parallels are pretty funny because he was a budding triathlete. So he was hairless.
Yeah, okay.
And he did swim at lunch sometimes.
There we go. Mr. Jugong. Tick.
Mr.
Mate,
Jugal.
93, what carefree days.
Mate, not a care in the world.
Yeah.
I started my pool cleaning career.
You were? And all
Wearing
the
the Botany Bay trackies
all
everywhere.
the stains on your trackies were from chlorine.
Yep, they were all chlorine stains.
They were all chlorine stains.
That was the beginning of his career slaying tens,
Well,
wasn't it? Being
well,
the pool boy.
I want to clean your pool.
Yeah.
Throwing on the German accent.
Yeah.
Mate, trying a bit of work around, doing a bit of work with flirting with Angus and Coot.
Yeah.
Flirting with Westpac.
You got
Started
around
my
a bit,
career
didn't you,
in
at the
banking.
start?
Yeah.
Had a few jobs. You were a few jobs, gee.
Got around in the
You
90s.
did 93. What a year. God, that's, some of the best days.
It was a simple time, wasn't it?
Great time.
It was a year after like some of the best rock music ever released.
Oh, 100%.
Ever all came out in like the 6-month period
Yeah.
of each other.
Absolutely.
Crazy.
Certainly.
It was great. I remember I had to work at the pool shop. I worked at Angus and Coot on Thursday nights. I worked at the pool shop 2 or 3 days a week, and I'd get all my stuff done, and then I'd get down, I'd get my pay, and then I'd race down to Wheeler Heights Burger Shop, get a bacon and cheese,
Oh, what
bacon and cheese and chips, and that was my Friday. I'd have it by lunchtime.
Simple
I'd sit there eating my
rewards.
burger and chips.
What a yeah.
Great.
And I was probably
times.
wagging school, so we're probably eating burgers and chips together on a Friday.
Probably.
Yeah. Okay, gents, overs and unders. 32 years old, which is frightening. I'm going to set it. It's not going to work for you, but for G-Man, I'm saying 16. I'm going to say half a watch a year. I think it still might be too many. But let's start with you, G-Man. Where do you sit? Overs and unders 16. Do you remember the first time seeing it?
I don't remember the first time seeing it, but being a massive Clint fan, I know it came out. It was a bit of a blockbuster. It was a big movie
for sure.
Had some stars in it. So I don't recall seeing it, but I do remember the bit of fanfare around it. I would have only seen this 5 to 10 times.
Okay.
Not a lot. Maybe 10 times, I'd reckon.
Okay.
Like it is familiar, but again, one of those ones you just. To me, it's a good movie. It's something you can just throw on and watch. I watched it a few months ago because it was on.
Yeah,
it's an easy watch. You're right.
Yeah.
But I don't sort of drag it out anytime thinking I want to watch In the Line of Fire.
Cool.
There are other Eastwood movies that I'd watched before that.
Okay.
For sure.
Yeah, for sure. Now, Will, last time we mentioned already, you were 1 for Dirty Harry.
That's right. Yep.
Did we introduce you to In the Line of Fire?
Yes, you did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I thought we might be.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, look, of all the movies that were released in 1993, In the Line of Fire was a long way down the list of choices.
It's a big movies in 93.
It was a big movie. When I went through the list of it, I thought, bugger, there's
cracking year.
heaps of stuff.
Yeah.
Heaps.
Big cinema year 93.
Oh, massive. We've covered a few of them, but Jesus,
we have.
Some big hits.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, I'm well overs. And the reason I'm well overs, this was a huge, another fan of the podcast, Adam Grant Goober of Warriewood Road, and, owns half of Mona Vale, just an all-round good fella.
Right.
Big In Line of Fire guy.
Yeah.
I watched it quite a few times with him during Colts, when we were playing Colts. And one of those ones where you used to play footy on a Saturday, go back to his place, you'd buy a bottle of bourbon and maybe throw In the Line of Fire on, drink a bottle of bourbon, and then try and go out after.
Pre-game on In the Line of Fire.
I'd say try and go out after.
Right.
Yeah. But I'm over 16 quite comfortably. Saw it in the cinema, probably with Megan, which is scary. It was 32 years ago. But enjoyed it. Enjoyed watching it again. Haven't seen it for quite a while. Say a number of years I've not watched it in full.
I haven't seen it for so long, and then it would just happen to be on. I caught the second half of it on Fox a while ago and watched it because I hadn't seen it, not knowing then that it was in our rotation. But happy to rewatch it again.
Cool. Excellent.
It was easy to watch.
G-Man, why don't you bore everyone for 15 seconds and tell us about the movie?
Well, a fuckwit from the farm's not here, so
I know. We are well invested in this.
Very happy tonight.
We are well invested.
All right. An assassin on the loose, a president in danger. Only one man stands between them.
Sounds like my kick-ass credit song.
Veteran Secret Service agent Frank Horrigan is a man haunted by his failure to save President John F. Kennedy while serving protection detail in Dallas, Texas. 30 years later, a man calling himself Booth threatens the life of the current president, forcing Harrigan to come back to protection detail to confront the ghosts of his past.
Good, I like it.
Not bad, is it?
Pretty good. Punchy.
Yeah, succinct.
Punchy, short. Like that. Morgs would like that one.
Yeah, he would have liked it.
Now, we're going to watch the trailer, and there were a couple trailers, and the original trailer is actually really cool, which was just the date of Kennedy's assassination, 1960, and then with the 1963, and it's in a Target, and it's just voiceover of the movie just on this thing, and as the Target ticks like a clock, the 6 turns to become the 9, 93. When the movie's released.
You couldn't script that.
Incredible.
Turns out you can.
I read about this. Apparently that was the original trailer, but then they changed it.
Yes, they changed it.
Because it got bad reviews.
The trailer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it got bad reviews out of the gate. It was like Faceback.
Yeah, because
bad reviews out of the gate.
Because it's then got this smash cut in it, which was just terrible. So we didn't do that trailer. I've done this trailer. Hang on to your hats. This is mildly better.
The president hit the campaign trail today.
All
He left from
posting
Andrews
positions.
Air Force Base on
+3,
Roger, in place.
+6.
Post 12, clear.
But there's a lot yet to do.
What the hell kind of gun is that?
Something I made.
Wouldn't be interested in selling her, would you?
No, I need it
For what?
to assassinate the president.
There you go. It's a long
Yeah.
trailer.
I was going to say that is a long trailer.
It's 2.5 minutes.
Wow.
It's a long trailer.
Yeah. Covers everything.
Certainly does.
Not much else you need to know about the movie.
Doesn't leave too much to the imagination. It feels a bit more modern, that trailer, because a lot of the trailers nowadays give everything away.
Yeah.
Whereas I quite like it when they keep a little bit behind.
Yeah.
That's what I kind of liked about the original trailer.
Yeah.
Where it was just a bit of dialogue and he was just like, "You dirty bastard, I'm going to get you."
Yeah.
And then, like, that's it.
That
You're
was
like,
They need the tease.
yeah,
Yeah,
you
tease.
just needed to know that there was some tension between what sounded like a highly intelligent psycho
Mm.
and Clint Eastwood.
That's exactly it. You know, Clint's after someone, and this guy's an intelligent psycho.
You're like,
I'm
in.
already in. I'm already paying
in.
my money.
Yeah.
I was already paying my money.
Critical thinking. IMDb rates In the Line of Fire 7.2 out of 10. Certified fresh 96%
Wow.
on the tomato meter with a 79% popcorn meter. So critical darling.
Yeah.
And not as well received publicly, which I find is odd. Got a couple of reviews. We're going to start with a bad review. Jonathan Rosenbaum of the Chicago Reader.
Rosenbaum.
If you don't care about such motivations, this is a pretty good thriller, though not one you're likely to remember for very long. Now, one watcher will.
Yeah.
Don't want to give too much away.
Yeah.
Enjoyable.
Meat and potatoes.
Yep. Just like Gow. Just like
Straight
Gow.
up and down.
Yep.
Straight up and down. No mouth to minge. Fingering missionary. Meat and potatoes.
just entree, main, dessert, get out.
That's Gow.
Yeah.
That is
That's right.
Gow. That is
And then with
Gow.
this movie, a little bit of jazz piano as
Oh,
well.
how good is he? Yeah, he's a established jazz penis.
So
Sorry,
Gow.
penis.
So's Gow.
Well, Gow's the jazz penis. Now, G-Man, we got a good review here.
Oh, don't tell me.
30 Dominelli. Now, after last week, where our friends on What Went Wrong mentioned James Baradinelli and didn't do the 30 song.
Yeah, that's outrageous.
It is outrageous, but he's back.
That's poor form.
Hands down, Malkovich's Assassin is the best thing about this solid thriller. A
Agreed.
villain that rivals Hannibal Lecter for intelligence and cold, calculated viciousness. Malkovich is great in this movie,
Yeah, he is.
Unreal.
but I actually really enjoyed Clint this watch around because I knew how good Malkovich was. I focused a little bit more on Clint, and I really enjoyed him. But Malkovich is the star.
Yeah.
I think Malkovich is super in this movie, but the way they bounce off each other is really
Yeah,
good.
the cat and mouse, the phone. You know, I'm a huge fan of the newspaper exposition.
Mm.
I love a phone call too,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
they did what they did with this was they did it very, very well.
Yeah, they didn't go so far down the track of all, obviously he's taunting the cops.
Yeah.
And he's taunting, Frank.
Frankie, yeah,
But then Frank hits him back, and he, you can see he loses his shit a couple of times.
Yeah.
So you know that he's getting into his head, right? So he's getting closer to him.
it's funny you don't know who's winning.
No,
Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
and that's what I love about the cat and mouse. It's just Frank's ahead, then Booth, McCrawley, Leary is ahead.
Yeah.
Then Frank goes, well, I don't really particularly give a fuck. I love those scenes where you've got the whole room listening to the phone call
Yeah.
and they're like, I can't believe he just said that.
Yeah.
You've lost him. I'm like, happens every freaking movie. He'll be
it
back.
does. Yeah.
But that-
100%.
That's the thing. He wanted Frank invested. And
Yeah.
then when he said, no, stuff you, I'm out.
Yeah.
That's when he got the shits,
That's
right? 'Cause
exactly
he wasn't
right.
playing his game.
Ordinary people. After last week's Michael Buffer, I couldn't do it again. I hurt my vocal cords. G-Man, what do we got?
Well, we've just talked about Clint a little bit, and we've had him recently.
Yeah, with Dirty
with
Harry.
Dirty Harry. This is coming straight after his Emmy, not his Emmy, his
Academy
Oscar
Award. Yep.
Academy Award for
Unforgiven.
Unforgiven.
That was 92,
So,
wasn't it?
yeah, it was 92. This came out in 93. So he had that early run. Play Misty for Me in the 70s. Was massive. High Plains Drifter. All of those movies.
Spaghetti Westerns.
Magnum Force, The Enforcer. All of those things. Escape from Alcatraz. And then he sort of comes through the 80s. But then we talked about Heartbreak Ridge in 86.
Great movie.
And then you had White Hunter Black Heart, which I'm sure was a great movie, but it was a very, very big movie at the time. So he's still well into his stardom at this stage.
Mate, he's massive.
Yeah.
63 years old, still a massive bona fide star.
Seriously, too old to be doing the job that he's in this movie. But anyway,
Yeah.
we'll get to that.
He's supposed to be, he had reservations about doing it because he's supposed to be a sort of 50-year-old.
Yes.
I know he can carry this off. And I remember watching this at the start and thinking, he is out of breath. He's older. he can't keep up with the young guys.
Yeah,
But
he's Roger Murtaugh.
Yeah, but he's still got the game, right?
Yeah.
So-
Certainly does. Lily just can't deny it.
We'll get to that. But again, I thought he was great. He knows how to play this role so
He's
well.
good. Yeah.
The
Well, this
grizzled
is-
veteran.
yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Doesn't take anything from anyone, not even the secretary or whatever the
the
Chief
chief of
of
staff.
staff.
Yeah, they're always a dickhead in the
Yeah,
movies,
they're
aren't they? The
always
chief of staff.
Seriously.
The head of the secret, like the head agent and the chief of staff, always dickheads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's so many tropes in this movie.
Yeah.
But I
gonna
don't
say
mind
so.
them.
Yeah.
I don't mind them in
It-
this.
Nah, because it's the early 90s.
Yep.
And that's where tropes
See,
first lived.
Absolutely.
It's not like any trope following on from the early 90s is a trope because but 90s is where the tropes live.
Yeah, they did. That's where that's it. Now's where tropes go to die.
That's right.
Tropes
Whereas
lived
back
in the
then
90s.
they were unashamed tropes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Correct. Unabashed.
Yes.
Unabashed tropage.
Yeah, that's right.
G-Man, what's your favourite Clint movie?
oh, there's a few. I do like we
Give
talked
me,
about this last
give me
time.
one. What's your favourite?
I always loved Dirty Harry as a
Yeah.
kid. I just loved it. because
If
I
we
guess that's the
let's
original.
let's take Dirty Harry off the table. Where do you go?
jeez. Mate, he's so diverse. Though. I mean, I love Heartbreak Ridge. I think
Yep.
he's great in that. I
Yeah.
think it's a really good movie.
Yeah.
Even some of the later stuff, like The Mule.
Yep.
He's so good in those movies.
What about Every Which Way But Loose?
one of my favorite movies as a kid?
What about
Any
Philo
Which Way You
Beto?
Can- Philo Beto
You've
is
not
awesome.
I've got no doubt you haven't seen Every Which Way But Loose and Any Which Way You Can.
Right.
But he is a street fighter,
Oh yeah.
and he's got a pet orangutan called Clyde. It is one of the two of the great movies of
It's
the
a-
70s.
Nice.
It's
And
a
as a-
semi-comedy.
It's a
Yeah,
it's,
right.
it's a semi comedy, and it's so over the top ridiculous, but it is you would love them. They're
Right.
right up your humor.
Good.
Like
All right.
Clyde, like he like right turn Clyde, and Clyde punches people out the window,
Punches the cop out the window.
goes and shits in the policeman's car. Like it's really funny. It's
Excellent.
good stuff.
Mate, Absolute Power. Loved him in that.
Yeah.
That's Hackers as well.
Yeah. He's great.
That's where he's got. I kind of confuse that with this a little bit because he's got the daughter in that he's estranged from, and I sort of had those two in my mind about this role. Like,
But really, as a director, is probably now where he's mostly known as, and like movies like $1 Million Baby that he acted in as
Yep.
well. But Mystic
Trouble with the
River,
Curve.
Mystic
Gran
River,
Torino.
Gran
Gran
Torino.
Torino was
Gran
awesome.
Torino's
Gran
a great
Torino's
movie.
awesome. That's
Yeah.
another one.
Yeah.
Whitey's favourite's probably Paint Your Wagon.
Gonna paint your wagon, we're gonna paint it fine. Gonna use all base paint, cause the wood is pine.
All base lead paints, probably.
The Simpsons, one of the greatest. Him and Lee Marvin. Who's next, G?
John Malkovich. Now, we've had John Malkovich before. We've done Con Air.
We have.
John Malkovich, as you said earlier, Whitey's unbelievable. He's such a good actor.
He's so good, but you know what?
So
I
good.
reckon he's underutilized. I
Yeah.
think he's not in heaps of stuff. He's very choosy.
It must be the reason.
He must be
He
choosy.
must get he would get emails every single day going, please, John, be in my movie.
Yeah, he's 'cause
Surely.
he's excellent. He's
Yeah.
so good in Con Air, but he's so good in this.
Oh, he got a BAFTA and an Academy nom for
Okay,
this role.
yeah.
Which I don't not understand. He's very, very good.
Yeah.
Dangerous Liaisons, as you said, Con Air. He's in Rounders, Teddy KGB.
Great in Rounders.
Great role.
Excellent in Rounders.
Being John Malkovich, a movie about himself. Like crazy.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he's
undervalued film in general that I love of John Malkovich. Red, with Bruce Willis in
Yep.
it.
Okay.
Morgan Freeman.
Empire of the Sun, The Killing Fields.
Oh, he's great in Empire of the Sun.
Yeah.
Really good in Empire of the Sun. So is Christian Bale. Really good.
Yeah, I think he's one of those super actors.
I just think he could have done more. You know,
Yeah.
he could have done more.
He's
could have-
kind of that
Is he like a Ray Fiennes who just
Well,
does
that
something?
Philip
Not Ray
Seymour
Fiennes, though.
Hoffman
Yeah.
level kind of guy where
Yeah.
you're like everything you do is really compelling.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Like it's
Just pick the right. It
Yeah.
seemed to just pick the right movies.
yeah.
No,
Yeah, maybe that's what he did.
Yeah.
But he certainly knows how to do it.
He's-
Great
him and Casey Affleck have the two most unnerving voices in
Yeah.
history film.
Yeah.
Still can't work out Casey Affleck.
It's a strange voice.
Weird, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
it
he's
is.
got
I don't know if he'd be a good hang. He wanks in baseball mitts. Like I just don't know what kind of hang he'd be.
Yeah, isn't it? Yeah. I can't imagine it'd be much fun.
No, I don't think he would be.
You'd be unnerved.
Now his brother
Yeah, well,
loves to piss.
he'd have some stories
Oh,
too.
yeah, there'd be plenty of stories
God.
from early on.
God, mate, if you've slayed some
Talk
tens,
about
Gow,
10 slaying. Talk about
Benny
throwing some
Affleck
pool
would have
hoses
some
around.
stories.
Oh, he'd have plenty of stories.
You know, he's born to watch alum, world's best side dick,
Yeah.
hot side dick Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
For the record, Ben, if you're listening, you probably are. Drop us a line.
Yeah,
Maybe ring
please.
in.
We'd love to. We'd love to talk to you
We talk about movies, you star in them,
and direct them.
and your brother's weird, and we all agree it, and you do too. So,
Yes. Drop us a line. Thanks, Will. Well done.
no
Who's
worries.
next?
The other one I want to talk about really is Renee Russo. Now
Mhm.
we've had her
She had a
in Major
minute,
League.
didn't she? She had a
Did.
minute.
I was just going to say that. I mean, late 80s, early 90s, Major League 89. Then you've got Lethal Weapon 3
Yep.
and 4.
And
she's in
4. Yep.
In the Line of Fire 93. Outbreak 95. Get Shorty 95. Tin Cup. Ransom.
Thomas Crown
Thomas
Affair?
Crown Affair. Nightcrawler. Well, so then not a lot after that. That was so Thomas Crown Affair was 1999. Then she's in Nightcrawler, another big movie. Fantastic movie.
That's with Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah.
That is a
unreal.
really good movie.
Yeah, very good.
That's the one
psychological
where
thriller.
he's
the photographer.
but he's trying to organize the accidents.
Yeah,
He's sort of that's a great movie.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
Yeah.
And then she's been in the Avengers world after that.
Yeah, she plays
Yeah.
Thor's mum.
But yeah, really had a lot of quite a time there in the late
And then
80s, early
disappeared.
90s,
I
and
think
then
must have
sort of-
been Motherhood, surely.
maybe. Yeah,
She was a
She made a bit of
model.
dough, mate. She made $3 million for Lethal Weapon 4 and then $5 million for Thomas Crown Affair.
She's good in Lethal Weapon.
Yeah, she's very
in
good.
Lethal Weapons, but she was a model.
Mm-hmm.
That's how she came into it. She got a modeling contract.
Okay, just straight up questions, not in question time. It's a question right now. Is she a good sort? Is she a good sort?
Yes.
Is she in the right light a good sort? Is she the Jerry Seinfeld episode where in the right light the girlfriend's amazing, he sees you in the dark, he's like, oh.
I think she's good looking. I think
okay.
she's attractive, but to me, I've never had any like, oh, she's unbelievable.
No, I don't think
have that with her.
she's not dropped. No, she's not going to Jamo. There's no doubt. But
you just mentioned another Clint. Was it lessons from Iwo Jima? What were letters from?
letters
what
from
did you
Iwo Jima.
What did you just say?
No, it's
Jamo.
Jamo. It's yeah, knows what I'm talking about.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, he knows what I'm talking about. There's a little in joke there, which will be coming out joke soon, I'm sure. He's gone. He's gone. Yeah, look, I think she's an excellent actress.
I think she's great.
I think she's
Yeah.
great. I think in all those movies you mentioned, she's great in all of them.
She's
is.
got a kind of slight Drew Barrymore thing, but maybe a little bit more masculine Drew Barrymore.
She's got a jaw.
Yeah.
She's got something about her.
I thought she was really good in the Thomas Crown Affair, but maybe that's because they had a lot of chemistry. In this one, not so much chemistry.
No, the chemistry is weird in this movie.
Well,
It's really forced.
She's 39.
Yeah.
And he's 63 in
She's-
real life.
Do you know she's 2 years younger than his daughter?
Yeah, that's what I mean. It could have been a father-daughter thing. Like
yeah.
he's 25 years older than her.
It's
So
super forced.
yeah. And he
super
looks
forced.
that much older than her.
I agree. Is that it, G?
Yeah, look, just quickly, some others in there. Dylan McDermott, a young Dylan McDermott.
Mate, one of the great TV shows ever made, The Practice.
Practice.
Bobby Donnell.
Yep.
I watched it again a few years ago from start to finish.
Yeah.
It's a great TV show.
Yeah, he's been in a few movies, but that's really where everyone knows him from.
He's also in
200 odd
he's also in a
episodes.
great movie, a John Grisham movie, Runaway Jury.
Yep.
Where he plays the victim of the gunshot at the start is the reason for the trial. I really like. You know what? Good looking man.
Yeah.
Good looking man.
Yeah.
Yeah, strong fundamentals.
Absolutely, and probably should have been more successful. I reckon.
Yeah, I mean, obviously TV for a long time.
Yeah.
Maybe he's pigeonholed in that. And he's done a
Yeah.
few movies, but not a super long career.
No, but the practice excellent.
Yeah, very good.
Went on to become Boston Legal. Boston Legal followed the practice.
Yep. We had Gary Cole in there, who's the chief.
He's a dick. Bill Watts.
The chief of the secret police.
Yeah.
Obviously he's Reese Bobby, the dad. I think you talk about that. This is where he got fired after this movie. Then he went back to be Reese Bobby.
Yeah.
To go back to the family with no job. He's also Cotton McKnight in Dodgeball.
Oh, he's too.
Yeah.
Hey, Carton.
It's a bold move, Cotton.
Bateman, what a legend.
Yeah.
And also, obviously, John Mahoney in this movie. Frasier's dad, Martin Crane.
He did 50 years of Frasier.
What a legend.
He is good.
He is.
Yeah, very good.
And even like we talked about the chief secretary of state or whatever, the
Chief of Staff.
chief of staff.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was in Hunt for Red October.
Yeah, he's been
Like he's been in
in
heaps of stuff as well. So
Yeah.
there's lots of sort of guys you go, oh, that guy, that
Yeah.
guy.
good character actors.
Yeah. So it's quite a well-rounded cast.
It was just that was the jobbers of Hollywood in
Yeah.
the late 80s to 90s. Like all
Absolutely.
those guys.
It's a real jobber movie, this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. Now, are you done with the cast, G?
Yep.
Okay, I just want to touch on the director, Wolfgang Peterson.
Yeah.
Who, mate, sneaky career.
Sneaky.
So listen to this, German,
Again,
obviously, Wolfgang.
Not done a huge amount of movies,
No,
but done
but-
some quality.
So Wolfgang, as we'll call him, Wolfgang. 81, Das
Wolfie.
Boot. Great movie. One of the probably the best submarine movie ever made.
One of the best.
One of the best World War II movies. It's a quality film. 84, Never Ending Story.
Oh.
Right. 85, Enemy Mine, which was Jeff Bridges' The Alien sort of movie. 93, In the Line of Fire. 95, Outbreak.
Yep.
97,
With
Air
Renee
Force
Russo
One.
again. Yep.
2000, The Perfect Storm, which is a great movie. And 04, Troy.
Yeah.
Like, sneaky career.
Yeah, he's had a lot.
Like, they are all great movies. Like, the Never-Ending Story. You tell me, if you watch, even now, if you don't cry when that fucking horse dies in the mud, Artax, you don't have a heart. You don't have a heart.
Responsible for a lot of trauma, childhood
I've
trauma.
got to say, unbelievable trauma. And also, Family Guy, one of the great scenes of all time with Peter Griffin riding Valcor. Peter, you're too heavy.
Yay!
One of the greats.
The Luck Dragon. How good.
Yeah, Falcor. What a guy. Anyway, G, that's it. Any box office Academy Awards?
Domestically, 102 million. Internationally, 85 for a worldwide total of 187.3 million on a budget of 40.
That's pretty good, Bickies.
Yeah, very good.
That's a
Opening
hit.
weekend, 15.2, opened in 2,000 cinemas, 8.3 weeks average run. Decent run.
Good run.
Was nominated for 3 Oscars. One for John Malkovich, as we talked about. One for Best Writing and Screenplay, Jeff Maguire, and one for Best Film Editing. But in that year, we had movies like Schindler's List, which won 7 awards and got Best Director as well with Steven Spielberg. We had Tom Hanks, Best Actor for Philadelphia. Holly Hunter for The Piano, another big movie that year. Tommy Lee Jones, Best Supporting Actor for The Fugitive. Anna Paquin for The Piano. So, number one movie dollars-wise was Jurassic Park with $1 billion.
Unbelievable movie.
Incredible.
You had Mrs. Doubtfire, The Fugitive, Schindler's List, The Firm, Indecent Proposal, Cliffhanger, Sleepless in Seattle, Philadelphia, and The Pelican Brief rounding out the top 10.
It's a massive year.
And then you've got In the Line of Fire after that. So, but I mean, Jurassic Park was $1 billion. Mrs. Doubtfire number 2 at $441 million. So a long way between.
Yeah, enough.
one
And
two.
we've mentioned it here before, but not enough is said about that year that Steven Spielberg has where he's working on Jurassic Park and Schindler's List at the same time.
Yeah, we've mentioned that before. And it's
Mate,
that's crazy.
How do you do it?
mate, Schindler's List is one of the greatest piece of art ever made. It is so disturbing. It is so sad. It is so amazing. And the fact that he's making the opposite film in Popcorn Fever with Jurassic Park, which goes on to be one of the greatest movies ever made as well.
Blockbuster.
Groundbreaking for its like special effects.
But I just
and-
remember seeing that for the first time and just sitting in the cinema on my own because I went to the very first time it opened, the very first on the Thursday, probably WAG school, to go and see, and was just blown away by just seeing that dinosaur for the first
Yeah,
time.
honestly, for a second you thought, have they made dinosaurs again?
Yeah.
Like, are they real again?
Yep. Absolutely. Quality. Anything else, G?
Nope.
Okay, 1993 hit sleeper dud. Will the Workie has the
Yeah,
hit.
mate.
What have you got?
I've got the hit, do I?
You do? Well, you can have whatever you want.
Oh, you know what? I'm stoked to have hit. That's fine. I
Go for
took a few down, but like I said earlier, 1993, I wasn't your age.
No, you were young.
Yeah. So the hits for me that year there was a few of them, but there was High Rotation from Dennis the Menace,
Yeah.
Cool Runnings,
Oh, yeah.
and The Sandlot.
Three great
Oh,
movies.
mate. Tell you what, memories galore. Really good films. If you're listening to this and you've got kids, throw on a trifecta.
Yeah. Cool
Yeah.
Runnings, great movie. John Candy.
Feel the rhythm.
Very good.
Feel the rhyme.
Yeah.
Very good. Feel good. Easy to watch.
Sandlot's a great movie too. I
It
think
is.
it's an underrated baseball movie, especially here in Australia.
Yeah.
Where it's only really the big, like Major League, The Natural, the big baseball movies. I think Sandlot is
No, it
well
was
worth a watch. It's
it
excellent.
was on high rotation in my house with my own kids.
Yeah.
Noah, my eldest boy, he watched it religiously almost every day.
Yeah.
And then there's a mate of mine, Jack Irwin, who's only just discovered the movie. He's got two boys of his own. And he's just like, I've never seen the Sandlot. And then I thought, that's the best movie ever.
Yeah.
Like the kids love it. He loves it. Ah, yeah.
There
Anyway.
are not. It's funny. I don't think there are going. In 30 years' time, people aren't going to be saying, "I've discovered this movie that came out in 2025."
Nah.
No.
No, I was going to say 93 is like peak money in movies, right? Like where they just like,
This is where the blockbuster. This is where the big tent poles start to happen.
but it's all analog still.
Yeah.
So it's like all real scores. Nothing's AI generated. There's no CGI or very, very little.
Yeah.
It's all filmed and there's stunts and there's like, it's all kind of boots on the ground stuff, which makes a movie like Mrs. Doubtfire. All
Sure.
of that, like just all the effort that goes into all of
Absolutely.
that.
Real movies.
Yeah, real movies.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
it definitely translates.
100%. 100%. All right. Well done. That's a good choice. Good choice. Good three.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, three hits.
I've got the sleeper, Dragon the Bruce Lee story,
Yeah.
Oh,
starring
flick.
Jason Scott Lee, Lauren Holly, Robert Wagner. So it's a fictionalized account of the life of the martial arts superstar. And this is by no means a biography, and there is some fantasy in there.
There's some fantasy in there.
But generally speaking, it's the account of his life. And Bruce Lee, at about this time, I was so deep into Bruce Lee. I had Bruce Lee posters on my wall in my bedroom.
100%.
I would watch his movies all the time. Fist of Fury,
End of the Dragon.
End of the Dragon, which we're going to do. We're going to do, the very least, we'll probably do End of the Dragon
sick.
because it is an English spoken film. But all his movies, they're effectively all the same. But Bruce Lee was a fucking superstar.
Oh, massive.
And
Huge.
no one knows why he died. No one knows how he died.
But I think
Really,
this is
today still. But
Yeah, I think this is part of it with that, where they've put the fantasy in the movie, but there's a lot of mystique around
sure,
Bruce Lee.
but it's the Asian.
the way he died, how he died,
Yeah.
did he, all of
Yeah.
this. So all of that, the dream sequences and everything sort of adds to that mystique of
Yeah.
like, how did this happen?
Yeah,
all
the
these-
guy
all
had
these
his
dreams
back.
he
The
had.
guy had his back broken, was in traction, and actually came back and like fought.
Yeah.
The guy was absolute legend. Not the guy that was the piss taking Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Where there's some of that. I think some of that is
Oh, it's
probably
got merit,
50%
yeah,
merit, right?
yeah.
But Bruce Lee was a legend and taken far too early, and was on the brink of becoming a global superstar when he
Very
died.
massive, yeah.
Yeah, Game of Death. When he died in the middle of making that was going to be huge.
In 1993, he was a legitimate mystic.
Yeah.
Like he
Yeah.
was magic.
Yeah.
People
Yeah.
legitimately thought he was magic.
Yeah.
Like he was the only man that ever walked the earth that you could punch, do a 1-inch punch,
1-inch
and you'd fly across the room.
For sure.
And there was 20,000 accounts of it.
Yeah.
But
he
he
just
was
spoke to
one of
anyone
the,
down the pub.
yeah, one of the original martial arts superstars. I mean,
Sure.
Chuck
Yeah.
Norris had a few movies around that time, but Bruce Lee was the
He
one.
was the guy.
That
Yep.
was the guy.
And still probably is. And without
Yeah.
him, all that whole martial arts movie that became American like staple
Yeah.
probably doesn't happen.
No, I mean, and then we'd be deprived of No Retreat, No Surrender, which, you know,
This is it.
American
and all
Ninja.
of those Bruce Lee movies you said are just lead up to that
That-
glorious thing that is.
That's
No
exactly
Retreat,
it.
No Surrender.
Exactly right. G-Man, you've got the dud. What do you got?
I've got a movie called Weekend at Bernie's 2.
Oh, yeah, God.
Now,
Tragic.
I'm just going to read you the synopsis on this. After being accused of fraud, now, same to Jonathan Silverman and Andrew
McCarthy.
McCarthy are back, but after being accused of fraud, Larry and Richard retrieve Bernie's voodoo-revived corpse to track down the money that Bernie had stolen and clear their names. Now, this is your quintessential. We made some freight off the first one. We're going back to the well.
This, and they made some good wedge off the first one. It was a real surprise hit, and it was funny.
Yeah, it was a good
Yeah.
movie.
Have you
And-
tried watching Weekend at Bernie's in 2025?
No, I haven't seen it for a long, long time.
Yeah.
I saw the end of it 5 years ago.
I'm not sure
Yeah.
we're going to find it anywhere near as funny as we did in 1980.
It's one of those, but it's one of those one-off hits that was charming. And
Absolutely.
people loved it. It was like,
Absolutely.
oh, it's this funny story that you'd never really think about. The guy dies, and
Yeah.
they have to take him around. It's a comedy.
Yeah.
But then to try and rehash it, like
No.
it's sort of
So dumb. Well done. There's a few movies to watch and one definitely to miss. Question time. Here we go. What are the chances a man over 50 is being allowed on the president's detail? Answer.
not likely.
0.
Why wouldn't they bring him in as a consultant and go, right, this guy's made you.
Yeah.
We need to get you like Reese Bobby. You've got to like get him on the team, but get him behind the team, not running on the
Yeah.
side of the car.
Why is he running?
Why would he be on that?
Yeah.
Like, why would he not be the brains behind it?
100%. 100%. Is it because he's the grizzled guy that sort of, is not well liked within the service?
It's the same reason why Aviator Maverick was still flying planes and teaching people
That's it.
at the school as opposed to being like running the
Being
base.
Val.
But,
Yeah,
he,
being
but
Val
he's
Kilmer.
62 years old. Like they're not going to put him on the car to be jogging beside the president.
You wouldn't think so. Now, here's another question.
Then
to go.
why? Okay, sorry. Can I ask?
Yeah,
Then
please.
why wasn't she? If she was head of the detail too, why wasn't she running alongside the car?
Yeah.
Because at the
Once-
end, she's the one running the team when he gets the boot.
Was she not behind him in that
Yeah, in the
parade?
yeah, she
Oh, she
was.
was.
She was on the
Puffed
car.
out.
Oh, she
Yeah.
was. Okay.
She's on the car at the start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then, just a question on this is probably more for Gow, but if Morgs was running beside that car, one, how bad would his back sweat be?
Oh, My
Terrible.
God. Visible.
He'd be
sweat
dripping
cake.
down the back of his
Oh,
pants.
yeah.
And two, how bad would he stink?
Oh man,
Yeah,
stinks at the best of times.
does. Stinks after a
It's
shower.
life. That's life on the
Stinks after a shower.
land. But he might be handy at. He's got that farm strength. Got that
yeah.
land strength.
Yeah, probably. I tell you what, he wouldn't have dropped Booth at the end or Leary
No,
at the end.
yeah, maybe he just scooped him up.
Yeah, he would have made the jump across the two things, definitely.
Oh, I don't know. It's more.
Yeah, it is his calves. Okay, how good were old school newsagents? Like, he goes in the newsagent, he's looking for the craft.
Yeah.
There's so many magazines.
Mm.
Like your choice in the 90s for magazines. And look, this takes me now back to like looking for porn. There used to be 100 different porno mags in the newsagents.
Yeah.
Were they in the plastic?
Some were,
Yeah,
some
right.
were, some weren't.
Yeah.
But you could get, if you wanted a film mag, there was 10 to choose from.
Yeah.
And they'd have 5 or 6 copies of each magazine.
Yeah.
Like if you wanted to get an inside sport, there could be 10 inside sports.
Yeah, that was the thing.
Mate, newsagents were so good. Remember Humphrey's
Inside Sport was so good.
Remember Humphrey's newsagent at
Yeah,
Manly's?
it was massive.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Mate, you know what I used to love getting from the newsagent?
Scratchies.
That, definitely. But the trading post.
Oh, how good was the trading post?
Trading post was awesome. And I used to always look in there and they'd see if anyone was selling like a game machine, like, they used to have outside the milk bars.
Yeah.
The big sit-up ones, you'd be like looking for things like that.
Well, they're asking, dear.
Oh, tell him he's dreaming.
Okay. Now, did McCrawley/Leary rent a room in Buffalo Bill's basement?
Yeah.
His little office that he's working in, it looks like the well is going to be
Yeah.
just outside the door.
Yeah.
Why do they have to be so dark all the time?
Yeah.
What's with psychos and darkness?
Just live in a penthouse,
I
mate.
know it. Like, just leave it at the metaphorical level.
Yeah.
You don't actually need to make the room dark.
No, we know
He's
he's
already
dark.
living in darkness.
We know
right?
he's dark. Yeah. I was like, that looks like Buffalo Bill's house.
Yeah.
And when
Yeah,
you pull
it's-
up to the cars, it looks like Buffalo Bill's house.
Pretty dank in there.
Yeah, it's rank. Did Leary need to kill the bank woman? She was clueless.
She wasn't talking to anyone.
Mate,
She had forgotten he was not from Minneapolis before he'd finished the sentence.
no, because
Oh.
because he said to her, "You know, I'm not from Minneapolis," and she was like, "Yeah," because he couldn't tell her the school, and then he shut her up.
Yeah, but I don't think she'd give a shit.
She hasn't
Mate.
she's not putting two and two
No,
together.
she's not.
When you're a hard and fast wet boy, you know, like, you've got to cover all your tracks.
Cover all your bases.
How
Yeah.
good's that shot though?
When he's
when
at the door,
Yeah.
amazing shot.
It's like just arrest you, hey, in a
He-
second.
she turns around and he's there.
there with the sunglasses
Yeah,
on, just
that
standing
is a
there.
good
He's
shot.
creepy. Oh man,
It's creepy.
Yeah.
But,
What
he's,
a
but he's
creep.
charismatic. He's got the riz.
yeah.
He does have the riz. Okay, is there too much pomp and ceremony surrounding the President of the United
Oh, yeah,
States?
if I hear that song one more time,
Fuck it, Doug. Could you just for 1 minute imagine if they tried that shit on with Albanese? There wouldn't be one sniper lining up, and the sniper wouldn't be going for Albanese.
Yeah.
They'd be going for all the fuckwits that are doing the shit.
Yeah.
I actually thought when he gets off the plane and the band starts straight up into the
Yeah.
song, I was like, he would hear this 10 times a day.
Yeah,
He must be so over it.
but I'd be like, enough.
yeah, I'd be like, can you guys play some Bon Jovi or something?
Yeah, can you do Lay Your Hands on Me?
Get some lay your hands on me.
Can you just do the beat for Lay Your Hands on Me and I'll come down?
Boom, boom,
Down the-
boom, boom.
Yeah, that'd be good. Down the stairs of Air Force One to Lay Your Hands on Me. That'd be way better. So did In the Line of Fire copy the Naked Gun for the undress scene where all the shit's falling on the floor?
Yes, it's a
It's
bit like that.
The handcuffs and then all the wires and the walkies and the guns. They did something very similar in the Naked Gun, and then they do it again in Lethal Weapon 3.
Yeah.
So Renee Russo loves a bit of the whole. We just got to get all the shit out.
That's one area where they really could have thrown a bit of humor into the like.
Well, they were sort of trying, like they were trying to.
Maybe it was a little bit of a throwback to it, yeah. Because
So
as soon as I saw them dropping on the floor, I was like, that's so familiar.
Yeah, that was funny in the Naked Gun. Let's try and have a laugh with this. But then, same scene. Is turning the light off before having sex for the first time a good thing? She couldn't get to the lamp quick enough to turn the light on. She's like, I don't need to see that 65-year-old body.
Yeah, but you were saying in this that she's pregnant in the filming?
I'm pretty sure she is, yeah.
So maybe she's like, that's part of like, we need to turn the lights off quick because they
We
don't
don't-
want to
yeah.
give that away.
Yeah.
Depending on how she was.
But
looking,
she was
you know.
very quick. Like if you,
Yeah.
so Gow, you're traveling around the world, you pull a 10 in Ireland.
Yeah.
You go back to their place. And she goes straight away to turn the light off. Don't you want to look at what's going on to start with? Like, what's the play here?
Yeah, I don't know. You probably just lights off. Mate, if she's got to look at Monty Burns, old Clint Eastwood, she probably does want the lights
Oh,
off.
Morgs the Oxalotl.
Morgs is probably
pounding of your
he's
life.
almost a deep ringer for Monty Burns, isn't
He
he?
certainly is.
Yeah, sorry, Morgs.
Yeah.
Sorry, Dan.
Okay, so when Frank is going through, or when they discover who Leary is, and they find out that he's a wet boy, and going through all this stuff, and there's a photo of Leary in football gear, like he's played at college or something. Do you think Malkovich has ever played football?
I thought about that. I go, is that Malkovich at high school?
Did someone like that? Is got to be one of the most doctored photos of all because there is
Just cut
no.
it out of a bag and
No.
just like clagged
Yeah,
it
it's like
over
the
photo.
Oswald faked photo with the
Yeah,
gun,
yeah.
right? That was his Oswald photo. There's no way Malkovich
That's what I
has
was
gone
thinking,
anywhere
why
near a
did they go-
football
yeah,
field.
That's what I was thinking. Why'd they go with the footy photo?
Oh God. Okay, last question. Should Frank have talked Al out of quitting in the car, and Al, Dermot Mulroney,
Yeah.
Dylan
Dylan
McDermott.
McDermott.
Dylan McDermott is having a crisis of faith, and he doesn't want to beat because he's nearly died with that plastic over the head, which was a great scene, mind you.
Yeah.
And he wants to quit. I've had enough. I've got a wife and a daughter at home. Should Frank have gone, don't quit? Because he talked him out of it, and then 5 minutes later, he's dead.
Yeah, I know, but literally.
I need you. He doesn't need anyway. He's a fucking lone wolf, Frank.
Yeah.
But as soon as you see Al, or whatever his name was, Al DeAndrea, I think that was his name.
Yeah.
But as soon as he's driving, I'm going, oh, I'm late. I was like, Patsy, you're dead in this movie.
Yeah.
No, it's the Doom sidekick of
Yeah, of
Clint
course.
Eastwood.
Yeah.
It's
As
one
soon
of
as
those
you saw him
tropes.
running late, he's like, sorry, I'm late.
Yeah.
I was like, you're doomed.
Well, it's like
you are gone.
It's like in all these partners in Dirty Harry gets killed.
Yeah, they're all doomed.
Yeah.
I mean, it's funny.
Frank, I got him.
Yeah. It's funny because it's one of the few parts of the movie that you actually see some character development.
Yeah.
Because he goes from being this guy who's quite scared of him to like telling him to kiss his ass in the office,
Kiss
and then
my ass, Frank.
and that's when Frank's like, "I told you you'd become a good agent," or whatever he said to him, and you're like, "Oh, look at that! They're becoming friends."
Yes.
Like actually, Clint Eastwood's character is fond of him.
Yeah.
I think,
In the end,
you know, being the grizzled veteran, he's like, I think he thinks you just got to harden up, mate.
Well, he
You've
knows
gotta
things
harden
about
up.
people. He knows things
Yeah,
about
but
people.
you're a good agent. You've got the brains, you've got the capacity, so you've just got to harden up. And I think he's the school of hard knocks. He's
I
the
like
old
it.
school.
Okay, good. Well done, gents. Born to watch only fans. Now we're going to start with some. It might be considered cruel feedback that we've gotten from a listener who has stoutly declared that Damo is his least favourite member of the podcast.
is that members and sidekicks?
I think it is. Let's say members and sidekicks. His least favourite. He says that he needs to know his place.
Wow,
Now, look, I love Damo. And
very
look, I
ironic.
like what the energy he brings. So
very ironic.
I defended. I then asked, well, obviously, who is your favourite? And Gow and I were there together, and it did put him on the spot. He didn't want to answer. But he did say that anyone that is on a podcast and calls it their podcast, they're not my favourite.
Oh,
I said, I've never declared it's my podcast. I just said I'm the captain.
he's not happy with Poochie. Not at all.
Not at all. Not at all. Anyway, so Damo, we're both on the outs, but I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that.
It is ironic that Damo was told to stay in his lane. I feel like,
I'm feeling beef here.
well, I felt like maybe Damo a few weeks. Okay, I'll come clean. Right.
Address the beef.
Yeah, I'm going to address the beef here. Okay, guys, let's just take a little sec. Actually, this is brought to you by WPH Plumbing, your number one in plumbing on the Gold Coast, in drainage, gas fitting, and all things hot water related. Beef report.
Like it.
Damo, speaking of hot water, so a little you're familiar with the artist Moby, the
Yeah,
DJ?
absolutely. Yeah.
So Moby's number one doppelganger on the Gold Coast. A local very good sign writer came and twiddled his little wings over to me, and he goes, "I don't know if you've heard the last it was a few weeks ago. I don't know if you heard the last episode. Born to watch." I said, "What was that?" He goes, "Damo had a couple of things to say about you in it, but I'll say no more than that." I'm like, "Right, thanks, duly noted."
Yeah.
And I threw on the podcast while I was out there servicing the good patrons of the Gold Coast,
Yes.
making sure that their houses run efficiently. And he had words to say about my reporting style when it came to the Snorbs report.
Yes.
And look, I've professed to be nothing more than a work experience kid in this environment, okay? I like to start at the basics. I like to start at the fundamentals. And for Damo to cut me down at my knees and say that I was standing outside of my lane, that I wasn't even reporting on said snobs, I was reporting on, I don't know how you would say, like, shrouded snobs.
Yeah.
Something about like, a woman that wears a bra doesn't have snobs at all. They're just, it's like he doesn't see race, creed, color,
No. Yeah.
age or anything. You
no.
just see snobs
You just see
or
snobs.
not snobs.
It's black or white for him.
Yeah. I'm a fundamentalist. All right.
There's behind every good woman is a good set of snobs.
That's right. And behind every good lacy bra is a good set of snobs.
Damo needs to just maybe change some of the thought process. You think?
Yeah, and I'm not a threat.
Yeah.
I'm not threatening him. I'm not coming for his job.
No.
I just thought I'd add a little paprika
Yeah.
to the situation.
Okay. Well, this is good. Damo will take this on board.
Yeah, hopefully.
So you don't believe you're outside your lane. You may have swerved.
Swerved a little into.
You may have hit the dunks.
Yeah, I might have caught the curb slightly on the way past.
I like it.
But yeah, Damo,
We're all in this together.
What's good?
You know what? Maybe if we did have the beef report when you're on, and you could talk about the beefs in the movie, and
I like
you
it.
have your own little tune.
Yeah. Beef report.
Is that? I mean, it's not my idea. If that's what you guys want. I'm not making
You could
that
talk about
suggestion.
you could talk about the beef between Clint Eastwood and the chief of staff.
I could. Yeah, I could.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah. I
Okay.
don't want to take away someone else's part of
No,
the podcast.
it's forever growing. It's organic. It's organic. Okay, now for some real feedback.
Hancock out.
Hancock out. Now you might be straying, but I did like it. Now some feedback. Now we on the socials. Matty Big, one of our great mate from WA, who we're going to catch up with very shortly. This is about our Inglorious Bastards episode.
Good episode, boys, by the way. Good episode.
Thank you. For some reason, this is a movie that I never watched. I got 20 minutes into your review and realized I needed to watch it, so I turned it off, then watched the movie. It's fucking brilliant. Thanks for the realignment. Now, that's what we do here. All right? We realign people's lives. All right. Yeah.
It's like chiropractic.
It is.
It's manipulation.
Well, that's one way.
I'm glad you watched that, Matty, because that is a fantastic movie.
Great
If
movie.
you haven't seen it,
And you know what?
definitely one you want to watch.
2 weeks in a row, we're doing great antagonists.
Yep.
So last week it was the Jew Hunter.
Yep.
And this week
It's the fault. Yeah, this week it's John
Leary.
Malkovich. Yeah.
So two very good villains.
Two great
now,
villains.
We've got a voicemail. It's one of our regular voicemailers who didn't have such a fun time trying to leave the voicemails. Let's just say it's. I've had to cut this down quite considerably because he's a bit of an idiot.
Oh, hi there. Oh, shit. Stop. Can't read this. Start over. Hi there, Born to Watch Legends. Love listening to Inglorious Bastards. I'd just like to let you know I'm currently studying my doctorate in Spadger and would love to come on one time just to share my insights, especially when I have my doctorate. There you go, done. It's so good. Right. That'll be on the next episode. Hi there, Born to Watch. Listening to Inglorious Bastards. Absolutely loving it. Love it. Oh, fuck's sake. Hello there from New Zealand. Listen to Inglorious Bastards. Absolutely love the movie and love the podcast. I'd just like to let you know that I'm putting my hand up for doing some sort of Spadger report in the future, as I'm just about to finish my doctorate at Spadger University. So well done, guys. Talk soon.
Wow. So anyone would have thought that was the very first time that Strangles ever left a voicemail. He might need to go to Voicemail University. But the funny thing is that I got an email come through saying we've received a voicemail. That was one long 2-minute voicemail where he first left the voicemail, talked to his mate in the car. They had a laugh and then goes, I'm going to leave another one. I'll just push record. It's already recording, mate. Records again. We're lovering what you're doing. Then goes, oh, fuck, I fucked up. I'm going to have to leave another one. Let's push record again. And then this is one long voicemail of just the same recording.
Incredible.
I then
How
rang.
many cans do you reckon he'd had?
Well, it was during the day, and I rang him. I said, "Oh, I've got your voicemail," and I said, "You're an idiot." And he goes, and I go, "I'm just going to play the whole thing." He goes, "Don't play the whole thing. Edit it." So I did edit it. We still think you're an idiot, Strangles, but thank you for leaving a message.
But you know, we may have a need for a Spadger specialist, so
And he's
Yeah.
one. And he is one, that's for sure. The good, the bad, and the ugly, proudly brought to you by our friends at Gage Roads Brew Company. As Will sucks on a hazy as, he might have finished it.
I have.
Hazy's great.
delicious.
Love the hazy.
Yeah, Will couldn't wait to get that into his guts. Good Aussie piss. The good, we might start with the worky. What have
Yeah.
you got, mate?
What have I got for good? Well, I tell you what, straight off the bat, Clint Eastwood.
East.
Okay, Clint Eastwood's jazz piano.
Oh, mate. He's
Loved
a
it.
superstar.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice
that's
little
him for
touch.
real.
Yeah,
He's a accomplished pianist.
yeah, it's good. I do like a good '90s suit overcoat. You know, this the Secret Service issued
Yes.
overcoat.
Very X-Files.
You don't see him much
Yeah.
anymore. The Mulder coat. It's
Yeah.
very cool. What else? John Malkovich. Just John Malkovich
Yep.
being unnerving.
Tick.
I think he's great. And like more particularly, the duck pond scene is probably one of my favorite scenes in the movie. Just because he's sitting there like a schoolboy.
Yeah.
Just shooting guys.
Just shooting things.
Emotionless. Amazing.
Interesting way to test your gun. Just shoot a remote control boat.
Yeah, who's driving the remote control? But
Yeah.
I was
assume it's
expecting
him,
some
right?
kid to be driving it, and it was going to cut to this sad kid, and I
Yeah.
thought that would be pretty
Well,
funny.
that was in my bag. It was just a random boat.
I think it's him.
And he showed,
It's got to be him.
but he doesn't have a control beside him. It's just it was
Yeah.
a bit of an odd one.
I feel like there's something on the cutting room floor.
I think
that
there's a
could
bit on the
explain
cutting
it.
room floor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's me.
Okay. G-Man, good?
Quickly for you, Clint Eastwood.
Yeah.
We've talked about John Malkovich for the same reasons. I'm a Greer guy there. I like the fact that he's so calm, even when something goes wrong in his plans. He's really calm, and he just takes it on, and he knows he's going to fix that. But then, when he starts talking on the phone, and he loses his shit,
Yeah.
because you can tell, like underneath, he's unhinged. So he's so calm in that, but you can tell underneath he's bubbling away. And that scene where he yells on the phone at Harry, at Frank, sorry. Not Harry. At Frank.
It is the same character.
When he yells at him, he wasn't supposed to do that. He ad-libbed that and threw that in.
Oh,
I wasn't ad-libbed, the lines were there, but he just yelled at him. And that's why you see Frank sort of reel back, because he's had that slow cadence, then he's just thrown that out. So
Yeah.
I kind of like that. He did so well at that sort of
Absolutely.
psycho that you just know that he's not all there. He's not right. The disguises. I remember watching this the first
Yeah.
time and seeing all the different disguises and going, that's cool. Like, he looks so different. The way he dresses up, you know, you wouldn't pick that a lot of the time unless you knew his face. So,
Yeah.
so different, a lot of those. And the other one was good pacing. I thought the movie paced really well.
Yeah, it doesn't drag at all.
Doesn't drag. There's no real big crescendo. Like right at the end, obviously he shoots, but all of that. There's a couple of up things. You know, when he shoots the people by the river, when he goes and attacks,
And the chase
the
across the
Minneapolis girl.
roofs, there's a
Yeah.
few.
Yeah.
there's a few, but
Yeah.
but apart from that, you know, you're still exploring the story. You're still getting all of that out, so you're not really sure where it's all going, even though you know who the antagonist is.
Yeah.
I thought it was really well done.
Yeah, it's great. Is that it, G?
That's it.
Okay. I've got the same thing. Like, Eastwood is great. I've got flirty, sweet, broken, hard. And we don't get to see the soft side of Clint. I really enjoyed that part of his performance. Malkovich, amazing. I just love a movie when you see Castle Rock at the start of a movie. You know it's going to be good.
Yeah.
You just know it's going to be good. I love the start of this movie. I love when he picks him up late. Dylan McDermott's panicking, gives him all these fucking excuses on the sun, and he just looks at him and goes, okay, any more excuses? Don't be fucking late, effectively. He's like, ugh. And then you go to the boat, and that's a great scene where he's under the boat, he's tied up, plastic bag over the head.
Yeah,
That's a whole great thing. You knew the gun was empty. Yeah, of course you did. The cat and mouse. I just love a good cat and mouse movie. And I think this does it so freaking well, even though most of it is done from the end of the phone call, which I think is even great. Like,
but he also walks past him when he's playing in the piano.
Yeah.
Like, you see him just walking past, and he knows he's got him.
Yeah.
But he doesn't have to do anything, right?
But then, and particularly at the end of the movie, we just seen it before Will came in, that where he's sitting there and Frank actually comes and sticks his head next to him.
Yeah.
And the guy goes, "Who was that?" "Oh, a Secret Service agent."
Yeah.
You know, I just love
That's a
that
good little
whole
thing, yeah.
cat and mouse bit. I did enjoy the Horrigan had a heart attack scene. I thought that was really quite funny. I really like the if she looks back, she's interested.
Yeah, that was
Like,
a
I
funny
thought
little.
That was really
scene,
like
eh?
again. There's enough sweetness in this movie, and it's a side that you don't see of Clint Eastwood very often, which I really enjoyed.
Yeah, but it also lets you know that he was a swordsman
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
He'd slay
in the
them all.
movie. Like he's like, I know
It's
how
just
this.
like-
He's Hawk. He's Hawk for sure.
Just like
Yeah.
killing the bank women and the roommate is so chilling and so fast, breaking their necks. That nearly got taken out of the movie. And for the second week in a row, also, Malkovich wanted to kill the dog.
Yeah.
Whereas, same as in Inglourious Basterds, where they killed the dogs in the vet.
Yeah.
Um,
the producer's like, it's
yeah.
a little too much.
Same as you, Will. The hunters scene is excellent.
Yeah.
And I really like the scene at the end of the movie with Frank and Lily at the window when he's looking out the window and he's telling her about the day Kennedy died. Again, I really found the soft parts of this movie because you don't see that with Clint.
Well, it
I
builds
really-
some character
Yeah,
around him.
and it's more character, right?
Because Dirty Harry's not. Dirty Harry's just a
Yeah.
He's
Lean, mean fighting
two-dimensional.
machine.
Yeah,
eh?
he's
Yeah.
two-dimensional. He's
Yeah.
two-dimensional. Apart from that, I just think all in all, this is a pretty freaking good movie. Bad. Start with you, G-Man. What do you got?
Bad for me. The lack of credit they gave to the killer, I thought was crazy. I mean, they're all listening to these conversations. This guy saying, I'm taking him down in California. I'm doing this. I'm going to kill the president. It takes, like, they know he's a psycho.
But again, it's the chief of staff is always a cock. Chief of staff's always like, nah, well, we'll
But the
move
chief
on
staff's one
forward.
person, like, you know, and there's all these people, and,
Yeah.
and Frank's the only one that's like, oh, well, he's going to take him down. They're like, oh, but he might not. I was like, there's no way that credible a threat is going to
Yeah.
be pushed aside. They're going to say, you can go up on stage. And
Yep.
we're going to give it to one loony. They know this guy's bad. Like, they've seen people murdered. Like, you know, they know his background.
Yeah.
Well, I guess, to be fair, they didn't know till halfway through the movie because they didn't tell him that it was classified information. But that to me just sort of stood out. Like at the end, he goes, I'm coming in California.
Yeah.
And he goes, when? And he goes, well, you know, they don't want to give it all away. Because
Yeah.
like, they know he's coming. So.
Yeah. Prep for it.
The love interest angle might as well have been his daughter.
It's harsh.
Yeah.
It's harsh.
Yeah, it didn't click that well for me. There was a scene when they go into the house, when they think they've got his house, and they go around the side. Remember, they knock on the door and there's no one there, and they go around, and he gets the extender pole out,
Yeah.
and he smashes the top window
And goes through the bottom.
and then climbs through the bottom. Because I remember looking at it going, he smashed it. I go, how's he going to get over there? It's broken glass. And then the next he slips under. I was like, that
Yeah.
was just bad editing.
But why does the guy then go to put the gun to his head? Like he
Yeah.
knows he's an officer. Like,
Yeah, like-
that whole scene is a bit
It's a bit
odd.
dumb.
yeah, it's like, why is he? Why
It's actually the dumbest scene in the movie.
Yeah. It does give us the term wet boy,
It does give us a wet boy,
which is the
great.
highlight
Yeah.
of the
Not
entire
wet,
scene.
not wet back, wet boy.
Wet boy.
Yeah, I like it.
The other one was, and he sort of hints this. Why would she wear a gown at the party? She's a Secret Service detail.
There's no way she'd be allowed to wear that gown.
It's impractical.
Yeah, where
one,
where does she keep a
which-
weapon?
Yeah, like
Oh,
I know
unless
that's-
it's
a funny
internal.
joke. Yeah.
I don't know where it is.
But there's no way. What if something goes wrong? Like, there's no way she's in heels and a,
Yeah.
and a tight dress. Like, that's
Yeah.
just sort of. I was thinking about it, going, that's crazy.
Yeah.
He gets shot in the ribs or in the chest,
Mm.
in the left side of the chest.
Yeah.
But he can still fight with him in the elevator like
Yeah.
that. I was like, man, you're not fighting anyone with a bullet in your body like that.
But we're assuming he's got a vest on.
Yeah, he's got a bulletproof vest. Or
Well, he might, but then he's also said, I think you broke my ribs.
Yeah,
If you ever had a broken rib,
yeah.
I've had
There's no
several,
way
you're
after
not
being
doing
shot
that.
like that you're functioning very
you're not
well.
moving around like that.
It is
and-
only a wooden bullet though, or plastic bullet.
Yeah, fair. No, it's proper bullet.
Oh no, it is a
was-
proper
yeah.
bullet. That's right.
Because he has to put it in the
That's right.
in the,
In
rabbit's
rabbit's
tail.
foot.
And then also, where did the remote control boat come from? That was my other one. We've covered that.
Well done, Wilbur.
The only thing I got for bad is that villain's the very first villain in the entire movie. That guy's receding hairline. His head looks like a balloon.
Yes.
You know the one,
Yeah.
and the way his head's pointed down and forward into the camera, it makes he looks like an alien head. And
Which guy was that?
his hair starts. He looks like the clown, like bloody Pennywise,
Pennywise.
the clown. The dude on the yacht.
Oh,
with his
yeah,
two
yeah,
henchmen. Yeah. Anyway, very bad receding hairline.
Yeah.
That one.
Okay.
Terrible. Yeah, that's all I got for bad.
Okay.
Mm.
Dylan McDermott is in the grand final for World's Worst Smokers. When they're
Didn't notice
talking at
that
the bar and he tries to smoke and he's like, picks it up and It's just terrible.
Yeah.
It's like he's never smoked before in his life. The color of the hallway at McCrawley's apartment, the green, is one of the worst colors I've ever seen. It's fucking foul. And the stairwell and the hallways in this awful, like
intentional bad light to make it more sinister
hospital
and,
green.
like,
it was just awful.
clinical and not nice. Yeah.
I'm not sure. I get a bit over the lonely law enforcement trope where he's on his own, something goes wrong, turns to the drink again. I just think we don't need that. Like, we don't need him to fall back into that. Like, I think it's a little bit annoying. And there's no way at his age they're letting him anywhere near protecting the president. There is no way.
Again, consultant.
It would have worked better if they'd have just made his age, like in real life, that same age as a character, as opposed to having to be early 50s or keep pushing whatever it was written in the book or in the screenplay originally was early 50s.
Yeah.
Because being an early 60-year-old, 30 years prior, he would have been old enough to really be next to JFK.
Yes.
As a proper agent who's been trained well.
Yeah.
But as an early 50-year-old, he's like 22 or 23 trying to protect JFK.
Yeah, it is very early.
Yeah.
The other thing, he looks all of his age getting through that window into that house.
Yeah.
Like, he nearly stumbles trying to get back up. Like, it's not great. And also, he's ridiculously sick. Right?
Yeah.
And they put him at the front of the stage in front of the president in the most like visual spot.
Yeah.
If you're got the flu, they're going, sit this one out, Frank.
Oh, you sure you've got reserve players? Like, you're already under this much pressure. You're the guy that the dude's talking to. How about you sit out the back?
Yeah,
and
you think it would be.
And we just do some
They had
intel work.
They had a 14-car cavalcade. Like, you know, they had someone.
Fuck.
And it gave me the Bodyguard vibes, you know, when he's in there trying to. It didn't give me that, but
should stay.
we butchered that song the other week.
No, we did.
But it did, you know, he's standing there and all the lights and he's not sure. Gun.
Yeah. That was awesome though when you find it's Leary that's popping the balloons.
Yeah.
And he's just sitting there with the badge, with the needle.
I do have one more bad.
Go.
How far do you have to run the president?
What do you mean?
Oh yeah, they smash
Oh
him
God, mate, that's a 10-minute run.
Yeah, but they got to get him back to the
limo.
car,
But don't you have somewhere where it's like you're out the back door in the car?
Surely there's an intermediate area that's been security cleared. If there's a gunshot, you're going to this room. It's already locked down. We've got you. We can debrief there and then get to the car.
I think the protocol is get to the car and get out. Like they get him out of the site.
That's a long way to run, though. I'm with you.
The thing is, mate, I got no sympathy for him. If he knew that there's a threat like this,
it's so dumb.
And then he's like, "Nah, I'm fine. I'll go where there's people all over me." Then you're going to get shoved in the back.
Yeah.
And I'm sure those guys that are protecting you are like, "You're putting our lives at risk, mate."
Yeah.
I'll smash your head into the car on the way through.
Anyone got anything for ugly?
No.
Yeah, just the cars. They're all ugly.
The big one is like got the massive roof.
Yeah.
Like a 6-foot roof on it.
Yeah, they're just all ugly in that era.
American cars are ugly, though.
They're shocking, especially that era of like.
Donald, that's why everyone buys their cars from offshore, mate.
Yeah.
Because your cars are shit. Hence your tariffs.
Yeah.
I've got a couple. We've already mentioned the age difference. I think it's disgusting. Wooden spoons or utensils to eat stuff with. They're having the ice cream and they're eating with wooden. I hate wooden utensils. Even now, it's making my mouth go weird thinking about it. Bring back plastic quickly.
That was plastic days. They were well ahead of the sustainability.
I know. They're eating with wooden stuff. Have you had a slushie with a paper straw?
Oh,
it is the shittest experience ever.
Yeah.
And having a slushie should be the best experience ever.
Yeah, that's right.
And they have killed it single-handedly.
You got to buy a pack of your own straws now. Take your own straw.
Yeah.
Leave them in the car.
You do. I know.
It's the way to roll.
Quick fire. Say hello to my little friend. Anything in this movie, pop culture, you can sort of think of? Anyone got anything?
No. Oh, there's some funny quotes in it, but I
I
don't know
think
if
it
they're
really
pop
comes to
culture.
mind. No.
The only thing I think maybe is the whole if she turns back, she's interested. I sort of use that in life. Not many of them have turned back. But I still go, if she turns back, she's interested. They just keep walking.
What he's trying to say is he would have used it if
Yeah.
one of them had
No,
have
I've
turned
used it.
around, but
No,
not
I've
one
used
did.
it.
Yeah.
I go, if she turns back, she's
She's
interested. She just never turned
Never.
back.
Yeah.
And in fact, with Megan, I just ran around and stood in front of her.
Yeah,
And went,
that's
yeah,
right.
that okay, yeah, technicality.
Never let her walk away.
Technicality. Pig face lick outs for the biggest dick in the film.
Chief of Staff.
I've got Bill Watts. I've got the Secret Service guy.
Yeah.
He's a twat
Yeah,
as
I've
well.
got either of them, Chief
Yep.
of Staff and Bill Watts.
Let's call it a dead heat.
Yeah.
But the Chief of Staff to me just takes, he doesn't give a shit. It's like, keep him away from me. Like, they know
Yeah.
there's a credible threat. He just didn't care about anyone's lives except getting him to
We're
get
6 points
re-elected.
down.
Yeah, that to me is just shit.
He's just looking out for his own job. He's never looking out for the president. They're just keeping themselves in the cushy gig.
Mm.
5-minute movie. Anyway, this is a 5-minute movie.
Yeah. Clint Eastwood saves JFK.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah,
Good one.
Look, not a 5-minute, but Booth takes a massive risk when he dresses up as the hippie and stands outside the park.
Definitely.
Like, there's 1,000 cops there,
Yeah.
and he's not the fittest bloke in the world. That's a massive risk.
Big risk. He's
So
a risk taker.
that could have taken the movie down right there. Like, I mean, if that was real life, they're on phones. Cars are racing everywhere. So I think they catch him. I don't
Okay.
think there's a
No,
chance
I
he gets
agree with
away.
that. I agree. Olivia Newton-John, bad athletic prowess. Anyone with bad athletic prowess?
Bad gun handling prowess from the two hunters at the park next to next to Mitch Leary. Guy goes, "Mind if I take it for a dance?" and then grabs the composite gun off him and just been like, "Hey!" like just waving at him. Like,
He should be better than that.
yeah, he should know his protocol.
Yeah.
A lot better than that.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Anything else?
Clint's inability to run, or Frank's inability to run beside the car. But that's a given. It's part of the plot.
He's 100.
In real life, John Malkovich really hated the running scenes.
I don't blame him.
Yeah, he said it's like more running he's ever done. He just hated him. But he wasn't a bad runner.
No, he's not a bad runner, Malkovich, for a
Yeah.
theatre kid
Yeah.
who never played footy. Robot sentries. Do we need any extra scenes in the movie?
No, 2
I
hours.
think this movie's great.
2 hours and 8 minutes.
Perfectly
It's a lot.
paced.
It's good pace.
Yeah.
He doesn't need to be. If anything, it could be a little bit shorter, but I don't think there's.
No,
I don't think there's anything more you need to know. You get the backstory pretty early.
Yeah. Okay. Brad Pitt, person you'd most like to lie down with. This is a sausage fest. There's really
That's
only one woman.
Yeah.
But what I wouldn't mind getting a closer look at the African American lady that they break into the apartment where there just always happens to be someone having sex in an apartment.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind getting a closer look at her. She looked like she had quite a good body.
Yeah.
But I guess it's Renee Russo.
Yeah, it's Renee Russo.
Has to
She
be,
really
yeah.
is. She's Smurfette.
Well, there is
She's Smurfette.
there's Bank Teller girl from Minnesota or wherever she's
She'd
from.
be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She'd have a lot of fun, I reckon.
She'd be up for it.
She'd definitely.
What about? I can't remember her colleagues after when they go back and they say, "Oh, she died. Pam died."
Yeah.
Were there any good-looking ones?
No,
in
I
the
didn't
back?
like
Not
can't
enough to remember.
No. Okay. And last and definitely not least, look-alike morgues alike. Any morgues alikes in this movie?
Just to do it at the start with that massive receding hairline and the balloon head.
So the one that's behind Dylan McDermott? Or the one that, or is it Mendoza, the guy that Frank's talking to?
Yeah.
Okay, so Tobin Bell, I've
Yeah.
got him as well.
Yeah.
So he's actually Jigsaw out of Saw and, and the
right.
Saw movies,
Ah,
right?
yeah, right. Yeah,
So very similar pasty complexion to Morgs.
I knew it. See, I only ever get to see Morgs on a screen.
Yeah, very pasty
I don't actually, I've
complexion.
never met the man in real life.
And there's a few of the Leary disguises which reminded me of Morgs as well.
Yeah.
Ratty hair. There was probably a couple man bun disguises.
No, when he dressed up as the hippie with the long red hair.
Oh yeah,
yeah, that's
Felt like the
Morgs.
smell would be the same.
Yeah,
from
he's got the
those
same
two.
teeth.
absolutely.
He's got the same teeth as Morgs.
Morgs sucks. Well done, gentlemen. That's it for quick fire. Now, of course, no Snorbs report.
I could
Listen
probably do one if you
to
it's fine. Do it.
this. G-Man, take it away.
All right. So John Malkovich improvised the scene where he puts the gun in his mouth when he's hanging off the edge of the building. John Malkovich improvised that. But director Wolfgang Peterson liked it so much he left it in the movie. And Clint Eastwood was laughing at him off the camera. That's why you see Malkovich smiling when he does it.
Malkovich.
But completely ad-libbed.
Pretty good ad lib, like in the middle of a stunt.
Yeah.
Even the fact that he kind of smiled while he was doing it played into the character.
Yeah,
Exactly.
absolutely.
Exactly. The phone number that Horrigan finds under the bed when he's searching the apartment is the phone number for Sony Pictures.
Okay, don't ring it.
A few sliding doors. Robert De Niro was the first choice for the role of Mitch Leary, but he turned it down. He had some scheduling conflicts when he was shooting A Bronx Tale. Robert Duvall and Jack Nicholson were also considered before John Malkovich was cast. Look, I think John Malkovich is amazing in this, so I don't see it as. I could see Robert De Niro being in there. If you get Cape Fear Robert De Niro,
Yeah, or Taxi Driver.
or
Robert
Taxi
De Niro.
Driver, I could see that. I just think that he nails this part with that slow,
Well, you can't see.
sense,
It's one of these movies where you can't see anyone else playing the part. Now.
Yeah, that's right. Once he does it,
definitely.
Willem Dafoe also turned down the role of Mitch Leary, and for the role of Lily Raines that Renee Russo had, both Glenn Close and Sharon Stone turned down that role.
Sharon Stone too young.
Yeah, she's
Glenn
even younger.
Close is the right age. Not attractive enough.
Also, the last one I had was the hotel that featured at the end of the movie where they're going up and down in the lift when they're shooting out the lights. That's the same hotel that was featured at the end of True Lies when he goes up and down with the horse in the lift.
It must be a big lift.
Yeah. To get the horse in.
the horse in there. We're going to do True Lies soon. Now, Will, good scene in True Lies.
Oh yeah, there's a great scene in True Lies. Actually, you really should make sure that Damo gets along for that one.
That'll be the beef.
Yeah, because there is a legitimate Snorps report for that.
Legitimate. It's one of the great scenes in all cinema.
Bill
That's right.
Paxton.
Yeah.
Definitely brought Jamie Lee Curtis back into pop culture.
Yeah.
That scene.
Yeah. She was a fit girl back then, man.
Oh, yeah.
I think True Lies is True Lies 94?
Yes.
Yeah. It's only a year later.
Yeah.
It's horse
Mate,
shit all through that. lift.
The hottest short back and sides haircut.
Unbelievable.
Oh,
in
yeah.
film.
Really brought androgyny back.
Really did.
Yeah. What do you got for listening to this, Wilbur?
Okay, so probably the first time in Born to Watch history where a previous film that we had reviewed has wound up in another film that we're reviewing,
Okay.
which is original Dirty Harry footage superimposed onto the footage of Clint Eastwood running alongside the cavalcade when JFK gets shot.
Ah, yes.
That took 10% of the film's production budget.
Yeah.
for
It
the
cost
CGI.
$4 million to do that out of the $40 million.
Crazy.
Crazy amount to
Good,
spend, isn't it?
huge amount
Very
of money.
good with maths, yeah. Very good.
Yeah.
Just that 10%, just like
Bam,
that.
like
Bang.
that.
Mate,
yeah.
I'm a former Westpac banker.
Well, I was about to say that was definitely got those, from Angus and Coot.
Definitely a
Mate,
banker.
I former teller A at DY Westpac back in the day.
So many watches
tell
in
us-
Angus and Coot.
Tell us your
That's not
pin.
a few.
Tell us your pin, yeah.
You can't do that. It's against the law.
Yes.
You know that. Should have been in listen to this.
Yes, sucks. Okay, so the picture from the day when Kennedy shot of the motorcade, and you've got the book depository in the back. In the doorway, the rumor was that it was Lee Harvey Oswald in the doorway. So you've got Agent Hill, who this character's based on, is the agent that was that actually jumped on the back of the limo once he was shot. But in the photo where you've got Frank and Agent Hill and the limo, in the background is the book depository, and it's since been disproven to be Billy Lovelady, who loves the ladies.
Apparently
What
loves
a-
the ladies.
That was the guy's name.
Yeah.
Billy Lovelady.
Apparently he loves the ladies.
Is that like I Love Lamp?
Yeah, it is a bit like that.
Billy
It is
Loveland.
a bit like that. And as I said before, Renee Russo, 6 days younger than Clint Eastwood's daughter, which
Yeah.
is pretty fucking disgusting. Anyway, moving on. Quotables. Anyone got anything for quotables?
There's a couple of funny quotes in this film.
Yeah.
I really liked the I'm going to throw a big word in here. The juxtaposition.
Juxtaposition. I like it.
The juxtaposition of the really cerebral psychopath
Wow.
that is John Malkovich. When he's like he's doing his his joint. What you know anyway, Silence of the Lambs
Mm.
thing over
Monologue.
the phone, and then like Clint Eastwood just retorts back with the most college boy response
Yeah.
at the end of all their conversations, where it's just like it's either like. I have a rendezvous with that. You got a rendezvous with my ass. Hangs up the phone.
This was one of mine. I only had two. One of them was this. Do you have the guts to take a bullet, Frank? I'll be thinking about that when I'm pissing on your grave.
That's those are my two quotes for the movie. But I do love the panache. It means that I had to look it up.
Yeah,
like
that's pretty funny.
he's quite witty in this movie.
Yeah,
good.
Well, I had one more. You guys talked earlier about him saying, "I know things about people," and then right at the end, they're sitting on the
Those
seat.
things about pigeons.
Yeah, I bet you that brown pigeon there flies for the white one. How do you know? I know things about pigeons.
Yeah, and then he roots her. For real this time. The blue pills get a workover. Well done, gents. I couldn't find a one. I couldn't find a 1 degree of Kurt Russell. Has Clint and Kurt have not worked together, and no one else has either, which is a real shame.
I don't think so.
I don't think Clint and Kurt have worked together. Film School for F-Wits. Now, on the back of what's been Morgs' terrible quizzes, completely rigged quizzes, I've got a quiz today on assassination movies and movies that include assassins in them. Now, I'm thinking of a number between 1 and 10. Gow, go.
7.
Will, go.
3.
3 was my number. Will, you're going.
Okay.
First,
Not rigged at
in
all.
John Wick, what is the name of the exclusive hotel that caters to assassins and enforces strict no-kill rules on its grounds?
I have no idea.
G, do you know what it is?
Le Club Sporty.
Lecoq. It's The Continental.
Yeah.
And there's a TV show called The Continental as well. Now, G-Man.
There's a Frankfurt called the Continental.
That's-
Grouse.
Gow eats cold Frankfurts. He's fucked in the head.
What, still?
Gow eats cold Frankfurts. Yeah.
Kids love them.
Ah, man. You
Lips-
have like 3 of those
lips
a
and
year, I
arseholes.
reckon You start
Lips
to feel
and
sick on it,
arseholes.
eh?
G-Man, in The Bourne Identity,
It's disgusting.
what is the name of the secret government program that trained Jason Bourne?
Treadstone.
Well done. 1-0 to G-Man.
Man, I'm going to lose this quiz so bad.
Wilbur,
Yep.
what is the name of the group of killers in Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2?
Oh,
It was mentioned on last week's podcast.
the Crazy 88.
No, that's the
Other group of killers.
Yakuza.
Yeah.
The Deadly Viper Assassination Squad.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Wilbur, G-Man. In what film does Jean Reno play a hitman who takes in a young girl and trains her in his deadly profession?
The Professional.
Expand, please. What's the name? The Professional I will take, but it's Leon.
Oh, Leon the
The
Professional.
Professional.
Sorry. Okay. Didn't know where you were going with that.
Okay, 2.
Leon.
What is the name of the cold, calculating assassin played by Javier Bardem in No Country for Old Men?
I haven't seen that movie.
Oh gosh, haven't you? Well, that'll be another
Great movie.
great movie.
I'm going to Pedro.
No, close though. Anton Chigurh. And get out to just completely wipe the floor with Will. Which 2004 film features Tom Cruise as a silver-haired hitman who forces a cab driver to drive him to multiple hits across LA?
Vanilla Sky.
No.
Inception.
Collateral.
Collateral.
Well, that's it. Gow wins 2-0. And that's how you do a short, sharp quiz.
Well played.
Gow's unbeatable in the quizzes, if you noticed. And I
Yeah.
actually didn't even give him the answers to that, like
Yeah.
what Morgs does. And Gow didn't need to look up on IMDb for the answers. Now, it is Kick-Ass Credit Song, and I'm on the mic, and this one is probably not going to be one of my best, but, and I'm probably going to lose the tune because I'm not sure what the tune is. But anyway, here we go. It's called Cat and Mouse.
Oh, I'm feeling like this is going to be one of your best, mate.
Cat and mouse, Frank and Mitch, Secret Service, what a bitch, trained to kill and protect. Frank's too old to get erect. The monument is mocking him. Will Lily into luck with him? 30, Frank will do his best to get Lily to show a chest. A man his age couldn't root that bird. He's too old for her. Yes, you overheard. In 16 minutes, he'll be up for the thrill. Horrigan just popped a little blue pill. A man of his age can protect the prayers. Don't want to make a bad mistake, Lily says. She's too young for you. Just focus on Frank. But don't waste the pill. Go and have a lonely old man wank.
Very good. Very good. That was very good.
Oh, man.
Nice work.
I did want to call it lonely old man wank, but it might have given it away.
That's and no mention of jazz hands in one moment.
No.
In one
No
Fine.
jazz hands. No jazz hands.
incredible.
He'd get the jazz hand out.
Oh yeah.
Star of the show, our guest, Will Worky. Who you got?
John Malkovich.
Yep. Gow,
Malkovich.
Whitey, Malkovich. It's 3-0. But I really did love Clint. But
Yeah.
Malkovich, he's definitely the star. The rank bank. We're really rolling now. Plastic bag asphyxiations, neck snappings, plastic handguns, bitter ex-CIA agents, inconceivable sex scenes.
What about 9mm blowjobs?
9mm blowjobs. That's actually really good.
That's good.
And
That's
we're going to
really
go
good.
with 9mm blowjobs. That was good. That was actually
Well done.
very well
I
done.
like that.
Yeah, I like that. 9mm blowjobs. We've all been there. Okay, let me just bear with for 1 second as I add this in. Nine blowjobs. Okay, we'll go to the guest. First time seeing this, Will.
Yeah.
How many 9mm blowjobs are you giving in the line of fire?
I'm going 3.75.
Oh, good score.
Yeah.
Enjoyed it?
I did enjoy it.
Watch it again.
Yeah, I think I would.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Couple of years' time, I reckon I'd put it back on.
You know what? It's actually one you can watch, not with the real young kids, but with your kids. Like there's only 2 swear words in it. There's not
Yeah.
a lot of violence.
No, it's just noisy.
Yeah.
But that's about it.
Not a lot of violence compared to today's standards,
No.
so
Nah.
you can get away with that.
Definitely.
And it's actually boring enough that it's boring appearing enough that they don't actually, like, if you don't want them to watch it, they're probably not going to.
Yeah, for
because
sure.
It's not very, but
Absolutely.
yeah, I enjoyed it.
Good.
I
Excellent.
think, Malkovich brought it up to 0.25 at least.
Yeah,
From
that's
a
good.
from a 3.5.
Yeah, he's good. G-Man, how many 9mm blowjobs for you?
Look, good rewatch. As I said earlier, not my favourite Clint movie, but it's not a bad movie.
Yeah.
John Malkovich is great in it. I would watch it again if it was on. Probably not something I'm going to go jumping to put on, but I'm going to give it 3.5.
3.5
blowjobs.
9mm blowjobs. Okay. Wow. Okay. Will, me and you, we're in sync here.
Oh, yeah.
3.75. I think it's good. 7.5 out of 10. It's a good movie. I had a lot of fun watching it again. It's not going to be condoed. I'll be watching it again, probably another couple of years.
Yeah.
But great pacing, great performances. I really, really like Clint this time around. 3.75 9mm blowjobs for you. Now, G-Man, where does that put it in the rank bank?
Interesting. Again, ties up with a few. 3.67. How do you say it? Skangs.
Scowns
Yep.
for Avatar.
Holmes.
Same with 6,000 SUXs.
Oh, that's Robocop.
Robocop. Poor People Bagels.
Poor People Bagels. I don't know what that one is.
That's Molly's Game.
Oh, right. Okay.
Chaos Theories.
Oh, that's Jurassic Park.
Yeah. So that's all of them. It's above.
Wow.
It's right above The Naked Gun and Major League, and it's right below. There's something about Mary, 3.68, Franks and Beans, 0.01 below that. So,
You're saying that Jurassic Park is the same
yep,
score. Do you feel in hindsight that you might
Avatar
have
and Jurassic Park are the same score as this movie.
I think Gow really brought Jurassic Park down in the
did
rankings.
you, Gow?
Yeah, I don't think
No,
Gow.
I gave it a 3.75.
Okay. Who gave it a bad score? Did Morgs?
Yeah, no, Damo. Damo
What did Damo give it?
3.
God, he sucks. Because I would have given it 4, I reckon.
You gave it 4.25.
Yeah,
Just judging on your reaction from earlier and just how you were still
Yeah.
kind of
No,
in awe of it.
Jurassic Park I still love. It's
And again, like
incredible.
Avatar is down low for there's a couple of Avatar lovers.
Yeah.
So,
It only takes one average score to bring them down.
Only
but
takes one
anyway,
bad egg.
that leaves us in at equal 93rd.
Okay.
List.
I'm
yeah.
not mad at that.
Yeah, that's about where it sits on it.
Meat and potatoes thriller.
This is it.
Mid-table,
Yeah.
vanilla thriller.
Yeah.
Whoa. No mouth to minge.
Yeah.
Okay, next week we look forward, and next week something really special. It's our third
I like to lean
birthday.
towards dirty vanilla.
Dirty vanilla.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's my kind of.
Bit of a taint.
Yeah, just
Like a bit-
vanilla, but with an edge.
Yeah.
You know?
I can't get it.
Yeah.
I hear. A little bit of caramel.
yeah. Just
We all like a little bit of caramel. Don't worry about that.
Yeah.
Next week, it's our third birthday, which we're very excited about. It's unbelievable. It's been 3 years, G-Man, since we fucked up that first episode and had to record it again.
Can't believe that.
And just for, we tried to fuck up another one tonight. But
you did well though.
next week, we're going... I don't think we've done one Christopher Nolan movie. We've done The Dark Knight.
Oh yeah.
So next week we're doing Inception
Cool.
for the third birthday celebration. Damo's going to be preparing something exceptional about the Hans Zimmer score. I'm talking a little bit about Hans Zimmer. He and I went and saw him live in concert a few weeks back at the Brisbane Entertainment Centre. It was amazing.
Yeah.
And the score for Inception is incredible. So we look forward to talking about that. A great movie, Leonardo DiCaprio, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Tom Hardy, Michael Caine. Cracking cast, incredible director, amazing score. Should be a lot of fun for our third birthday. We might even have a cake.
Sweet. I don't think I've ever seen it.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm onto it.
Yeah. Stop. You're going to like it. It's really good. Wilbur, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for
off the
having
bench
me.
and I'll tell you, it would be each episode that goes past, you're becoming less and less the work experience kid
Thanks, mate.
and more the beef reporter.
Well, there's a lot of beef out there, and somebody's got to serve it on a cold, hard dish.
Yeah.
Beef
is
Sooner or later, you get your own shower head in the Born to Watch showers. Almost there.
Stop it.
Yeah. You don't get your soap on a rope though to start. You've got to drop the
You
soap.
got to borrow
occasionally.
someone else's loofah.
Damo's probably got some liquid soap.
Don't drop the soap.
Or so he says it is.
Yeah.
Don't worry, Will. That's liquid soap.
Yeah, right. It was
Wash
once
your
upon a
back.
time.
Wash your back with my liquid soap. Be careful with Damo.
Yeah, I am.
It's been a pleasure. G-Man, well done.
Yeah, great episode. Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
You crushed it again. Until next week, do your homework. Inception. It'll take some watching. It's all a dream. And we'll see you next week on Born to Watch.
Hooroo.
Bye for now.
See ya.